welcome back to Total Spotfest. JJ Brownlee, Jamie Faulkner on this most thankful of editions of Total Spotfest. Happy Thanksgiving for all of you out there. And happy Thanksgiving to you as well, Jamie.
Well, happy Thanksgiving and happy birthday, Mr. JJ Brownlee.
Thank you. Yes, yesterday, for those of you listening, was my birthday. Jamie and I are now equal. I can no longer call him an old man. I still will.
Fair.
We got 6 months till it changes. But no, thank you. I appreciate it, man. Along with that, I appreciate all of you. Hopefully, you guys aren't getting too zonked out on tryptophan, getting your fill of football, and eventually doing a little Christmas decorating, right? Yeah, that's where it turns.
Yeah, we're moving a couch this year. Not looking forward to that.
For the tree, or just because?
No, for the tree, because we have a big family, so we have 3 couches in our living room. It's not very feng shui, but it's very what's the word I'm looking for?
Practical, efficient.
Practical. Might not look the best, but it's practical for the size of our family. We've decided to take one out for Christmas to put up the tree, and we're just gonna live with 2 of them for the rest of the time. So
where are you gonna put the other one? You gonna put it downstairs, or?
I think we're actually gonna put it in the garage, just to have it hang out in the garage.
Stick it in the garage.
Yeah, so like I could sit on it and watch Megan and Audrey hit. It'd be fun.
Oh, well, there you go. Maybe that's a new solution. There you go.
Yes.
So, well. Thank you guys for joining us, though. We said we do appreciate you giving some of your time this holiday weekend. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. If you are check us out on YouTube, as always. You can comment down below to join the conversation, like, subscribe, share, all that stuff. You can definitely hit us up if you want on Twitter at Total Spotfest. And because internet wrestling community seems to be going with a backup plan for the inevitable failure of Twitter, because we all know that's coming. I mean, 100%. You can find us at
it's 100% coming.
It is 100. You can find us at Total Spotfest on Hive Social as well. So
we're there.
It is very apparent we are there. It's very apparent who created the account as well, with our 2 tweets being an introduction tweet and then a series of lion tamer pictures.
And
no, I'm not saying anything. It's just, yeah. I finally figured out.
I did tweak our intro. Did you see that? Did I see that?
I didn't look at the. It's my birthday. I've been running around not doing anything work related, either work or this work. So no, I didn't. What's the new intro say?
Okay, I will read it for you, sir. I'm gonna pull it up right now. It says wrestling podcast fueled by movie quotes, dad jokes, and lion tamers.
Yeah. Oh, that's what I saw. Yeah. What'd you have before that? Because that's what I saw the whole time.
No, that's what it says. So everybody, here we are.
Okay.
There we go. Everybody.
Total Spotfest, where you can find us. Yes, indeed.
For some reason, it's not showing the post.
I don't know.
Yeah. What's a greater move? I'll wait. See, there's Maki Ito.
And
it'll load. And that is Mr. JDX. You can't hardly see it.
Here's the thing. I like Hive Social. I do. It's Twitter. I do like it. I read somewhere that it's run by the 24-year-old founder and like 2 employees, and it shows.
Yeah.
It's a little bit slow loading. There's no desktop app right now or desktop interface as we currently. There wasn't for Instagram for the longest time anyway. But that's not out of the ordinary, but it's a little peculiar. Like, now I was able to actually make a personal account today, so I did that. All you gotta do is go on there and then just search Total Spotfest, all one word. You can't see it. It's like, hey, there's a reflection of Jamie.
Hey, there's me. There's my face.
And just hit the little follow button there. So I was able to make a personal one for myself, but Jamie's a hardcore iPhone guy. I'm a tried and true Android man. Have been since the G1. Okay, let's go way back, right? Apple's made first on iPhone, and technically the Android is an official app, but it's still kind of in beta-ish. For example, I can only upload like photos that I take with my camera, on here. You can't like upload like images from your phone onto your like profile. It's weird.
That is very weird because I was able to upload the stuff that I have on mine. Of course, I have line tamers on mine. So
I know. It's anyway. Hive Social. If and when Twitter does eventually crap the hell out, definitely, you can find us there. Same handle at Total Spotfest. Jamie is able to snatch that up just in case. And then
you never know.
And then, if it does, we'll update our little image here so you can see that. As I said, I have my own now, too. I'm at J Money Club on there because I couldn't just do J Money, unfortunately. Funny story.
Wow.
Funny story. So I had a Twitch account when it was like still Justin.tv, like way back in the day. I think I had to log in because I wanted to it was either watch a pay-per-view or something that I really shouldn't have been doing legally, whatever, one of those things, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I made an account and it said, what you need to have in a channel? What is your handle? I'm at J Money. Cool. Had it, right? Simple and easy. And then I never used, when I turned to Twitch, I got in just recently into Twitch, watching Twitch and video games and all that stuff, right? So there was a 6 years ago, 6 years ago, something like that. There was like a big hack of Twitch, and and I got emails saying that my data was included in that, and changed the password. I'm like, I don't even use this shit anymore. Delete account. And then when I came back to it, I had to make a new one. I lost the J Money because it was like someone had it, but
Oh.
I don't know where I'm going with that
got
story.
Nut crumbs. I got my gamer handle, Nut crumbs.
Get your nut crumbs. So anywho, we have a few things to get to now. Over the weekend was Full Gear, as we all know. With that, we do have a belt up for grabs betwixt Jamie, myself, and Meg. I don't know. I'm trying to make words up as we go. We had our pay-per-view pick title on the line again. And we're going to get to that in a moment. But since it is Thanksgiving today, I figure let's start with what we've been doing in November. Let's start with our being thankful for wrestling bit. So,
absolutely. I love that idea. And if you don't mind, I would like to start today.
It is your turn, I was going to say, because I went first last week. So please, let's go.
So, since it is Thanksgiving, one of my most favoriteest things when it comes to Thanksgiving is the turkey. And the specific part of the turkey is the turkey leg. I'm a dark meat guy.
Oh,
love the dark meat.
100%.
So, in honor of turkey legs, I am thankful for super kicks.
Okay.
Using the legs. If it wasn't for the super kick, I probably wouldn't be a fan of wrestling, period. The most famous super kick that I can remember, there's two of them, done by the same damn guy. Shocker.
Amazing,
the very first,
right?
Yeah. The first one was at the barbershop.
That's a shocker, too.
And then my number 2 super kick of all time is the I'm sorry, I love you super kick.
That's about as iconic as it gets there. Let's be real.
But other people have emulated the super kick, and it's a part of the Young Bucks, who I have a lot to talk about with the Young Bucks here shortly. But I love me a good super kick. Kicks in general, in honor of turkey legs, use your legs. This is a great one. I was gonna go submission of some sort. I was thinking about doing the lion tamer, but everybody knows I'm always thankful for that damn thing. No, it's definitely the super kick. I love me a good leg slapping, hard looking to the face super kick.
All right. Well, I'm gonna play a little game with you then. There. Okay, we're gonna do either or.
Okay.
Shawn Michaels super kicking Shelton Benjamin out of the air. Adam Cole super kicking Ricochet out of the air.
Ooh.
Because it's basically the same thing, but
it is. I mean, the Shelton Benjamin one literally looked like he broke him in half.
Mm-hmm.
But Adam Cole's looked like he killed him. It legit looked like he murdered him. You know, because Adam Cole's hurt, I'm gonna give him some love. I like seeing somebody like assault, but murder is always top. You know.
Well, personally, I like the match better. I love both Ricochet and Adam Cole. That was peak NXT too at the time, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like everything was just a fucking banger. But my God, you're right. Yeah, it's tough to do. Either or. I could have thrown in there the Matt Jackson. Was it Private Party, the one where he there was one on Dynamite where he did the same thing, and is either Dante Martin or Isaiah Cassidy. I can't remember who it was, but it was vicious. It was so.
I think it was on Marquez.
Marquez, is that who it was? Okay, I think yeah.
Yeah.
It was. Oh my God. Well, yeah. Very good. Very good. So we got one more week here, so maybe a submission's still coming, guys. We don't know. Maybe. Well,
a good one. Everybody's gonna appreciate my last one.
Okay. Well, originally, I was thinking about one that I'm actually not going to pull out here because you kind of just covered it, right? I was going to pull out for me, what was the original heel turn of Shawn Michaels, kicking Marjane through a plate glass window at the barbershop. I was, what were we, like 7, 8 at the time, something like that?
7, 8-ish, yeah, somewhere in there.
And my world changed from that moment. I was like, what is even real anymore, right? But like I said, you just really just covered it, so I'm not gonna go down that path there. What I am thankful for is the Elite, the Jacksons, and the iteration of the Elite, not the original formation of them inside offshooting from the Bullet Club, not the current iteration of them either, not the Super Elite rehash Bullet Club version 5.0 or where the fuck they were when they had the Good Brothers and shit. I'm talking about the Jacksons, Kenny Omega, Hanger. Well, not really Hanger, but he was kind of ancillary to it. But Jacksons, Omega, and Cody Rhodes. For
them, there would be no AEW.
For this idea that we could put on our own show and sell it out. And we called that one All In. And they sold out 10,000 seats in less than an hour. And AEW was born from that show. And if it wasn't for that, because Impact, New Japan, they weren't really players. It was only WWE, right? We had NXT to kind of rest our laurels on, some good wrestling. But they finally gave us what we really wanted. And so I'm giving it to them. It was their idea. Tony Khan owns the son of a bitch. He pays for everything. It's his promotion now. But if it wasn't for those 4, we would never have AEW. So I'm giving it up to the Elite. That's what I'm thankful for.
That's a great one. I love the Elite. I mean, that iteration, you're absolutely right. Like when they first hit, they were all faces. They put on an excellent pay-per-view and All In. And if it wasn't for that, like this show wouldn't be covering what we cover every damn week.
Right.
Period.
Yeah. And some of the stuff that they did there is kind of like it's got its reverberations throughout All Elite Wrestling. I mean, in the Battle Royal, first of all, they gave us a different take on the Battle Royal, a different way to enter, which is kind of cool. In the Battle Royal is where we had Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus first team up. Now, they've known each other before that, but this is a wrestling audience got to see them first team up, and then they became Jurassic Express thereafter, right? With Marco. Billy Gunn proved he could still wrestle. You had Hangman prove that he could be a mainline guy, right? Cody Rhodes wasn't just a WWE product because, outside of, because when they were in New Japan and the whole Ring of Honor thing, it wasn't really, the eyes weren't there on all of them, right? People knew who Kenny Omega and the Bucks were because they were so popular elsewhere, right? Selling t-shirts, being the Elite, the whole thing, right? And Cody Rhodes was still thought of as like, yeah, but he's right? And he headlined that son of a bitch against, was it Nick Aldis, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think so.
I think it was for the NWA title, Nick Aldis versus Cody Rhodes. And my God, that match slapped. Fuck, that match slapped hard.
And now that you're talking about Cody Rhodes, do you miss him?
No, really, no. I mean, would I like to still have him here if he'd do the full Codelander thing? Sure, but he won't. So, not really.
Codelander was such a great possibility, and he wanted stupid money, and WWE is willing to give it to him, and hats off to him. And I hate to say it, but I'm going to, because I know we're trying to be thankful. We are really trying to be thankful. His matches were boring. And
for the most part, you're right.
I love a good technical match. I do. I love storytelling. But if there's no pace with the storytelling, it drives me nuts. He was a straight 1986 wrestler today. And that's what he wanted to be. That was his whole gimmick. And it's just cool. People love you because you're a name, dude. They don't love you because you could wrestle.
And here's kind of my takeaway from that, because when you look at his matches, it very much, you're right, easy, but it was him trying to dictate that story and pacing to the audience very deftly, right?
Yes.
His best match in AEW was probably that the Brody Lee horse collar match.
Iconic. That was his best match, period, because it was different. And it was an old school, but it had different style pacing, and it was insane. It was insane.
And you can
how
tell
good that match really was.
Brody had a hand in that because Brody's a veteran. Brody's not going to sit there and just be like, yeah, I'm going to do whatever you say. No, Brody wouldn't have that, right? And Cody wouldn't be like that, So, yeah, I don't really miss him.
Don't. And I know he's going to come back to a Hero's Welcome here shortly when he's back in WWE, and hats off to him.
That's the best place for him to be.
Where
for really, especially with the way direction WWE's going and how they've improved. Good for him, right? Cool. Right? Yeah. It fits better over there. There are people like we've talked about before that definitely fit better in AEW or fit better in WWE. Cody Rhodes fits better in WWE. He just does. Sorry.
And speaking of fitting into AEW, did you see that Konosuke Takeshita is officially all elite?
Yes, I did. Konosuke. Yes. Konosuke Takeshita.
Konosuke.
He is officially all elite. That's the smartest damn thing Tony could have ever done. I mean,
put a goddamn belt on that kid tomorrow. Pick one.
I've got a pretty good idea which belt I'd like to see him in. It also is the name of an AC/DC song. I'm just saying.
I mean, oh God, him and Joe. Yep.
All right. Before we get, we're turning here. We're gonna have it's because of Full Gear. So a lot of the show is going to be AEW, right? This weekend is Survivor Series. It's got some interesting stuff. Shotzi's getting a title shot against Ronda. That's cool.
Yeah, and she's in a weird love triangle thing or a love storyline thing.
I don't really know what. I'm just trying. I tried to get caught up on it. I go, wait, what? Who? But,
yeah, I read about that. I'm like, huh? And then I watched that episode because I didn't watch that one. I happened to watch it. I'm like, oh.
Yeah.
So it's like. I didn't quite fully get it, but whatever.
Paul's dropping a couple little, he's dropping some beans of, the Attitude Era, right? It's never going to go back. But he's dropping little nuggets here and there, right?
Yeah, but with a modern day twist. Instead of, a dude and a dude and a chick, it's a chick and a chick. It's like, oh, cool. They're kind of doing it a little bit different. Hey, way to be progressive, Paul. That's new for you.
Let's go for it. But it's also War Games. War Games officially on the main roster. The men's match is whatever. The women's match I'm excited to see. It's the Bloodline versus a smattering of everybody else, right?
You're just not feeling very Usi right now. That's all there is to it.
It's my birthday. I can feel as goddamn Usi as I want to, all right? God bless Sami Zayn, though. He is the best thing to happen to Bloodline.
He got them to break character.
He
got them to all break. Damn it. And, that's a well done line when you break everybody.
And my God, whoever's running that marketing department over there is deserves a pay raise, because they instantly had like Uzi shirts coming out. It's like, fuck yeah.
As they should have.
Feeling Uzi. I'd buy one of those if I was still going to WWE events. Hell yeah. But the women's war game match looks kind of cool. They're still, as of this recording, they're still one of the faces that's unknown. So who knows who it's going to be?
Chelsea Green.
It's 99% probable it's going to be Chelsea Green. You're not wrong.
Chelsea Green.
Yeah, but unknown. Mia Yim, who we didn't make mention, but Mia Yim got back into WWE 100% because of Triple H. 100%.
Yep. That's the only reason.
She said that. It's like, he's the one. He called me. He got me. So that's good for her. That's fine. And they're giving her the Mia Yim. She's going off of her character. Not really the blazing badass that she was doing down in NXT. It's a little bit more of what she is doing post, what she did in Impact, and just kind of her, right? So good for that.
Mushin.
Yeah. So we'll talk a little bit about. I probably will watch Survivor Series. If nothing else, I'm probably gonna watch the War Games matches and Shotzi just for good measure. I love me some War Games. I don't even care. I love best match. Oh, so thankful. Anywho, other than that,
anytime I hear the word, I have to do it.
You have to do it. That should be your notification tone on your phone.
Oh my God, if I could find it. Yes, Regal going, War Games!
I'll send it to you later on the night, because I can find that. I guarantee you. Okay. I'm making a note to do it too. All right. WoW's been trucking along. Good stuff happening with that. We've been seeing a lot of Razor, who we used to know as looks very similar to somebody we saw wrestle a little bit in Journey Pro called Sarah the Rebel. Her little clique. I've been getting a lot more
heavy metal sisters.
Is that what they're called? I can't
Heavy metal sisters.
Heavy metal sisters. It wasn't a great name. I knew that.
Yeah,
but WoW still trucking along. Ring of Honor's got their next pay-per-view on the 10th. A weird Friday at 2:00 in the afternoon pay-per-view thing. I don't know, or Saturday. It's odd, but it is what it is. So before we get to AEW, that's what we're gonna spend the rest of our time on. We do like to spotlight and talk about independent wrestling and feature an independent wrestler every single week. Jamie, do you have somebody ready to go for this very thankful edition of Independent Wrestler Spotlight?
I do. I really do. And I decided, let's stay semi-local, as in the Midwest region, the true Midwest region. None of this Ohio crap, because that's still East Coast to me. That's the East. That's Mid-East. We are Midwest.
Mid-East. Okay. Moving right
I didn't
along.
say middle. Mid. Anyway, this guy is the wind-up merchant. He is 5'11", 175 pounds. He is Cold Stone Tim Boston.
Ooh. Look at you pulling stuff out here, man.
Yes. So Cold Stone Tim Boston, bald-headed, big beard, comes out in the everything as a Stone Cold style thing. Not like Greenberg, if everybody remembers that. But actually legit.
God,
comes out with a big like ice cream scoop thing. And it says Cold Stone on it. He is absolutely hilarious. Excellent wrestler. Based out of Omaha at Magnum, which first off, I do want to say thoughts and prayers go out to Jason Strife. He's going through some medical stuff. They're having to shut down Magnum Wrestling because of it, because he is the owner, operator, promoter. It just pains me to see that, because we've seen him multiple times and he's dealt with a lot of health things previously, cancer survivor, and he's got some other stuff going on now. So thoughts and prayers out to Jason. But Tim is pretty damn badass. He's never actually made it to Journey that I know of. Maybe before we were seeing it around there. He is also on Hive. But dude's been great. He wrestles he's in Des Moines a lot. He's actually wrestled Jeremy Wyatt a few times. Dude's solid.
He is the physical embodiment of the Cold Stone Steve Cold meme. If everybody knows what I'm talking about.
Mm-hmm.
That's his gimmick. It's fantastic. It's so good.
100%.
Oh, good one, man.
And he is on both Hive and the Twitter at CS_Tim Boston.
Yeah, I'll have links for both of those down below there. I don't know if you're watching this on your computer, if you can click through. I don't think you can even click through a link, but anyway,
Negative.
it's still the same thing. It should work hopefully on your mobile device if you're watching us on your mobile. But anywho. Very good one. And it is a shame that Magnum is first Journey Pro, we're losing, and now Magnum, another good one out of the Midwest here, but very different reasons, of course. We do wish Jason nothing but the best, but definitely, yeah, give him a follow. Go check him out. Go watch some of his matches, 100%.
Damn Skippy.
All right. You want to do this?
Yeah.
All right.
I can't wait for one moment, but I'm happy for another one, honestly.
Well, let's get the meat of the matter out of the way first, and then we're gonna really dig into Full Gear here momentarily. And I say that because we had our picks. Jamie had a very chilly Saturday. It was like 20 degrees out, and he's at a
34.
Oh, was
34
it?
degrees.
It got above
windy.
freezing. Yeah, it
34
felt
and
colder
windy.
than that. I mean, last weekend was just bitter cold, and yeah, he was out in Pittsburgh, Kansas, with Megan the Tyrant at a softball showcase thing, whatever. So, got our picks in though before the show started. Reoccurring theme in our picks is similarities, and I mean that as such. None of us differed on the 0 hour, on the pre-show matches. And when you look at our main card, Jamie and Megan differed on 0 matches. They had the exact same card, top to bottom. I differed from the two of them on 1 match. Mm-hmm. So, and we were within like 3 minutes of each other on the tiebreaker. So
what was the final time? Did you even keep it?
I did keep it. I got it right here.
Okay. Who would have got it based off of that?
I'll make mention of that in just a second here. Okay, so let me.
Okay, cool.
All right, so we're going to talk about the pay-per-view just kind of in a rolling fashion here momentarily. I'm not going to go through it because, like I said, we literally differed. Jamie and Megan differed with me on 1 match. So depending on who won that, either going to go tiebreaker between the two of them, or it's going to go straight to me. And that match was the women's interim, put a pin in that, world championship match between Toni Storm, Jamie Hayter. We're going to talk a lot about this match in a moment here, but Jamie and Megan both chose Toni Storm. I chose Jamie Hayter. And
which I've been talking up a big game about picking Jamie Hayter, and
I was
switched at the
surprised
last second.
to see that you switched, because I thought you and I, when you got, because I was like, I was reading through it, like me and Jamie are going to have the exact same. Ooh, he chose different, but he chose wrong.
I
Jamie
sure did.
won. This guy gets the
It's
belt
awesome.
back. And if it had gone to the tiebreaker, you would have beaten Megan. Megan was at 16 minutes. You were at 19, and it was 23 minutes and 12 seconds is what I timed it at.
Jesus, that was a long ass match.
Oh, it was a long match. It really was.
Excellent match.
It felt like it, but not in a bad way. You know what I mean?
It was
so
amazing.
The belt is coming home to Daddy. Coming home to Daddy. It's the best birthday present I could have asked for. So I am your new champion. In fact, we're going to make it totally official here before we get to talking about the pay-per-view. I think that, what was it? The All Out 21, I think, was the last time we were this close to each other. Because, like, when I started looking at this, I was like, holy shit, we are so close. There's the belt. Boom. In my corner. Yes. I am the champion.
Congratulations, birthday boy.
All right. So it was good. It was, would you say predictable based on how we got there?
Yeah, absolutely.
In a bad way, though, I would say no.
So
let's talk about it.
Okay.
Now, we made mention first. Yeah. So if you followed us last week, we made mention of this feels like Tony just putting together a solid show, not wanting to have any sort of like hijinks shenanigans to get past the whole All Out fiasco, right? And that's very much what it was. There was no debuts. There was no big returns. There was no giant surprises. And I say that knowing what we know here. But the show ended up being, I think, what he was looking for, a card full of bangers. I mean, I enjoyed this a lot more than I thought I was going to. I'm not going to lie.
I was pleasantly surprised with how top to bottom that whole thing was. They're legit one stinker out of the entire show. One stinker. And it was one of the women's matches.
Yep. I agree with you there. Yep. So talk about that. Let's start with that one, because let's get that out of the way.
I mean, props to Jade Cargill for wrestling in a leotard. And painted a thong leotard with painted legs and butt. Like, at first I'm like, whoa, that's kind of cool. I'm like, oh, that's paint.
Yeah. I thought she was just wearing like 2 layers. Like, oh no, she's just letting that ass out there for the world to see.
I mean, if I was her, I'd do it too, because like that thing is like
sculpted.
She's got negative body fat. Like, she is legit got negative body fat. I don't get it.
Fair.
But so that match just never got off the ground. It just felt discombobulated. Did not feel comfortable. Jade did not look good. And there was an injury, they said, that happened during it, so that's also didn't help. So I think Nyla got hurt at some point.
Probably when they were outside and they were around the railing and they were doing all shenanigans. I don't know,
it just did not go well.
And we've said our piece about Jade so many times over. It's a one-string banjo.
Yeah.
That being said, if she's going to have this much clout and be this prestige, and yes, I know, you put her on the poster to sell tickets, right? Cool, right? She's got the look. She's got the attitude. She's in a company that's about wrestling first. She needs to wrestle better. And
I agree.
I don't, for what it's worth, the whole cosplay every pay-per-view thing, while the nerd in me thinks it's cool as fuck, it doesn't fit her character at all, right? She's going from this weekly just baddie section, and I dig the vibe and the baddies, and it's like that whole part I don't mind for Jade because it fits. And then it's just coming out like she's going to fucking Comic-Con. It's like, okay.
Yeah, like who are you?
Yeah, it's kind of weird seeing Thundra, out there saying, I'm the baddest bitch on the planet. Like, oh.
Yeah, it just irritated me. I mean, like, I love it. I do love how she comes out in different gear. I thought the She-Hulk one was on point for her. Like, that was probably the most.
No,
that and Storm.
The Storm was fantastic. I like that all. Like, I'm a nerd.
But to her gimmick, it doesn't flow.
It doesn't fit.
Totally agree. Could not agree more. Like, it fits Nyla.
100% fits Nyla. And Nyla actually had a little bit of an Assassin's Creed nod in her gear. I don't know if you caught it or not.
Yes.
Okay.
I did.
Yep. So she had a little bit of Assassin's Creed.
The hood, yeah. It was great.
So, but yeah. And you know what? It is what it is. The question then arises. It's like, well, eventually she's got to drop this belt, right?
I guess not.
I mean, Athena's turned heel now. She turned heel last Dynamite or Rampage, I think.
Yeah, which okay.
Yeah, which I don't mind heel Athena. That's cool and all, but I'm just trying to think of the direction that goes in. Like, where are you putting her with that, right? Ruby Soho's still not back. Hey, Ruby, I mean, that would be on paper something that would make sense. Ruby's quest to be a major champion in a major promotion. Just give her the belt. Just give her a belt once, please, Tony. And she made it to the finals against Jade, so that makes sense. Nyla made sense, right? She's the only one who could physically stand up to Jade, right? But then we saw the end result of this product. Who else is there? I mean, what are they gonna like? There's no
Mercedes Moné.
I don't know.
I don't see that happening. By the way, I don't see throwing that out there.
I'm trying to run away from that. I mean, if that was a reality, yes. But then again, if you had Sasha Banks in AEW and you don't put her on the top line, you're a fool.
Mm-hmm. And you wouldn't do Saraya because I'm sorry, I don't trust it.
I wasn't. Truth be told, I was not the most pleased with that match either.
I enjoyed it. I thought Saraya looked really good for not being in the ring for almost 7 years or 5 years, however long it's been.
I think for that, but she took like 90% of the match.
Yeah.
And I just and I get
that's smart.
She's rusty, she's out, whatever. But her offense, whenever she got to it, just was, I don't know. I was hopeful for more. I was hopeful for more.
And I was actually thinking this is probably the best way to keep both of them looking super strong. Because Britt looked like Britt Baker in that match, top to bottom.
Yep.
And Saraya is, I haven't wrestled in 6 years. I'm a little rusty, but I'm going to persevere and find a way. She kind of Darby Allen'd it. She did. But it made sense in that moment because now she'll be stronger and get better as she goes. And she's still not going to wrestle all the time, so I feel like it was a smart play. As long as they don't Darby Allin her the entire time, cool.
Yeah, as long as they don't Darby Allin, and also as long as they don't do the complete opposite where she comes out there and it'll squash somebody, right? Because you don't need to do that. And I just complained about who's going to be there to challenge for different things, but you and I know the bodies are there, the stories aren't. You don't need Saraya getting in there and messing up, more stuff. Her expertise is more on the behind the scenes, I believe, with the occasional little match here and there, occasional thing, fine. But I don't know. It wasn't my favorite of the night either. It was better than, Jade for sure.
Well, and then the third women's match was an absolute certified motherfucking banger.
That was, I was going to say
Oh,
I think that was my match of the night. It's tough because there's about 3 that I could put up there.
yeah, like the Elite versus Death Triangle. Oh my God.
Let's talk about
Excellent
that
match.
one. Let's talk about that guy.
Oh my God. Well, first off, the fact that the Elite came out to carry on Wayward Son, like they literally got it the night before if you watch BTE, because BTE is officially back, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes, it is.
But that match was nutso.
It was
top to bottom.
It was the definition of a spot fest. Everything that I wanted in a match, I got. Just ridiculousness on top of ridiculousness. Oh my, I mean, we could probably spend an hour just going over each blow from that match. It was that good. The crowd, a Jersey crowd, chanting "fuck CM Punk" in the middle of it was an unexpected cherry on top of that Sunday.
Which was featured on BTE, if you happen to catch that. Shocker.
Chicago crowd from last night had a retort, of course, but we'll get to that later.
Yeah, which Kenny Omega had a retort in his match. I don't know if you caught that.
Oh, I caught it.
Sean Ross Sapp sure did.
I 100% caught that. And here's the thing. So at the end of the match, the hammer comes out, right? And Phoenix won't use it. He won't use it. Pox keep trying to pull out the hammer. And I don't get why they have this little, like, it's like a 7-ounce hammer, too. It's a little, like, skinny bugger, right? But whatever. Keeps pulling out the hammer, keeps pulling out, and it got to the point there where he had to, because of the situation where he was.
Yeah,
so
he was at the One Wing Angel. Like, he's getting ready to get.
He was going to get destroyed. So he did use the hammer and he won. And the response from AEW is, okay, because of some shady stuff here, here's what we're going to do. We're going to keep running this back in a best of 7 series, which we know is going 7 matches, 100%.
Yes.
Which, cool. You and I have said before, give me Lucha Brothers and Young Bucks all day, every day. Kenny and Pac, we saw their 40-minute Iron Man match live, right? You know? But we've also complained about 50-50 booking and seeing the same goddamn match every week. Now we're going to see it for like 7 of the next 9 weeks. Thoughts?
I'm okay with that. I'm okay with it because they don't do it very often.
Best of 7, best of 5. I could. Yeah, okay, cool. But they're going until like mid-January on this motherfucker here.
You know, the last time I can remember the best of 7 series between 2 wrestlers.
Who?
Booker T and Chris Benoit, WCW. For the TV title, I think.
Yeah, because I know they did 3D and the Machine Guns did a best of 5 in TNA. But yeah, that's going way back.
Yeah, like that's the last time I remember them doing that. But then like they had matches. So the way they sped it up was they had a match on Nitro, then they had a match on Thunder. You know, like so they were on twice a week for a couple weeks.
Yeah.
But then they were able to knock it out relatively quick. But I see this where at the tail end, Elite gets it, but Elite is gonna be 100% full-fledged face, Death Triangle full-fledged heel.
They're going to do a complete swap-a-rooney through the whole thing. You think all of it?
Because Death Triangle is starting to feel the power of the dark side.
Well, and they had some of that from Dynamite last night too, with how they won that match. Spoiler: they're up 2-0. Sorry, guys. Just thoughts. You guys let us know. Are you? As I said, this is kind of like what you want to see, but do you want to see it every week for the next 2 months? Because you're going to. Give us a comment down below. Let us know.
Yes.
Underwhelming match of the night. Not a surprise. We figured this would be Sting and Darby, Jeff Jarrett and Jay Lethal.
It was still a great match. It was a lot better than I was expecting.
It It was basically the same match that we saw from, was it Revolution, where Sting and Darby had a match that they were just basically in the stands for the whole time of it.
Yeah.
I can't
That's
remember who it was again. It was basically that again, which is cool. It was fine, but not really necessary. You got Evil Danhausen on the kickoff show.
It was great to see the mostly evil Danhausen.
Oh, it's so good with the teeth. He actually for the first time in AEW used the teeth.
He's never used them in AEW until now.
He only brought them out when he was I think, his introduction episode was the time he had the teeth. And he hasn't had them even in his presence since. So I like this Danhausen.
Me too.
So we got. You want to talk about tag match? You want to talk about TNT or steel cage?
TNT match was a lot of fun. Big men slapping meat. And it sure as shit was. And that one surprised me because we all picked Wardlow to retain.
100%.
And I still feel like we're crazy for not doing that. But here's the first swerve. This is the first true swerve of the night, if you ask me. Joe takes it down with a submission, not on Wardlow.
Some shenanigans
but on Hobbs. Yeah. So, because it's it's heel Joe now. But it's just Joe. It's not heel Joe. Yeah, it's just Joe.
It's Joe. It is the I don't give a fuck about anybody Joe. Which is the final Ring of Honor and initial TNA Joe, basically.
Yeah. The perfect Joe.
100%.
Perfect Joe.
Oh my God, I love that Joe. The match, I wasn't expecting much going into this match either. A lot of these matches, like I said, I wasn't really up for it, but it lived up. Powerhouse looked fantastic too. He looked so good. He's come so far.
So far, yeah, he's so much better than what he was.
His debut was bad. So Joe is a double champion now. He is the TV champion, television champion for ROH, TNT champion. I'm telling you, Joe and Kineska.
I'm just thinking about that. Just
give me best of 7 on that.
Give me best of 30. I don't even care. I want that match every day.
Best of 30. They opened up the main show with the cage match. So Luchasaurus, Jungle Boy. We love us a good cage match. This one didn't disappoint. You had a little bit of Christian shenanigans. He got thrown out though, and
that was great.
Jungle Boy showed out in this. I mean, he did. He went at the top of the cage move onto him, and I love how infrequent cage matches are with AEW. Plus, there's no escaping. Like you can escape if you do escape, whatever. It's pin or submission. That's the only way to win. That's the correct way to do a cage match. I'm so happy with that.
Same. The escaping the cage, that's kind of old school. I'd rather there has to be a victor. You can't leave. That's the whole point. You can't leave.
It's a cage for a reason. What else? We had so there's Eddie Kingston, Jun, Akiyama, one-on-one match. They had a tag team, and then Eddie won that. And afterwards, they had to fill time, so they just gave Eddie the mic, which was fantastic. He's hyping up matches. The mic is so good. Oh my God, hyping up matches. Which leads us to the 2 title matches are really, the ones that we want to get to. We're saving the main event for final, but Tony Storm, Jamie Hayter, you already mentioned the outcome. This was my match of the night. And it's tough to say that because there's so many other good ones here. The Elite and Death Triangle was right up my alley, right?
MJF Moxley was one for the ages.
That was fantastic. The one we didn't even talk about, the ROH belt title. That 4-way between Claudio, Bryan Danielson, Jericho, and Sammy Guevara. That fucking banged.
It was, so many good matches, ladies and gentlemen. So many.
But
It's not my main. It's not my number one. MJF Moxley's my
MJF
number
Mox.
one.
I can understand that,
But it's a close two, and it's higher than the Elite versus Death Triangle. Because those two women put it all on the line. They went after it. It's the clones of each other going at it.
Yeah, and we wanted to see it whenever Tony Storm first came in. It's like, give us her and Jamie Hayter, mostly because people like seeing butts on screen and whatever. And then we got to see it a couple times, and it was like, okay, that was fine. And we got to see more iterations of it tag wise. But this was the full culmination of that thought. Let's see these two cloned women go at each other. Oh, everything is great.
Jamie looked phenomenal, and she deserves that belt.
Absolutely.
I didn't know if they were actually going to do it because like I said, I thought that the Thunder Rosa might be coming back, which now she's not.
Absolutely not.
So, yeah, I don't know if there's more story to that.
Well, we're supposed to hear from Tony Storm on Rampage tomorrow. Who knows? Tony Storm's also been working at a breakneck pace. Like in her short time here, with her match last week, she's appeared in I think she's either tied with or passed, for the most female matches on Dynamite. That has been in the most female matches on Dynamite. Mm-hmm. That's a lot in a short period of time. So she might need a break. Who knows? But I'm glad they did that. I'm glad that they had the interference from Rebel and Britt Baker, but not in a way that really soured the victory. So
yeah, I mean, there were some shenanigans, but not full on super shenanigans.
Yeah, I'm still very happy and seeing her actually get that pinfall, and the crowd was into Jamie, 100%.
Yeah, I can't say it enough. Like, Jamie was excellent.
So that leaves just the main event. I'll let you kind of take the ball and run with this here for a very obvious reason, which we'll get to in a second. So MJF Mox for the AEW title. Let's go.
It was a banger. Like, that's all I gotta say. No, it went back and forth. Lots of good stuff. I'll get to the end. Moxley was getting ready to use the diamond ring, and here comes Lord William Regal, aka Lord Steven Regal. And he's like, no, you can't use that. Blah blah blah. And this is after the ref has been knocked out. They
went through several refs, and Rensburg got knocked out, and then someone else came and he got knocked out, and then Rensburg got knocked out again.
Yeah. So he doesn't use it because Moxley goes for something, and then out of nowhere.
No. Regal tells Mox that because he had him for a pinfall or a submission. He was tapping out, but Rensburg was knocked out. So he tells him, "You have to go get the ref. You have to go get the ref out of the corner." Sorry, I just wanted to correct you there.
Yes. So when that happens, Regal slips the brass knucks to MJF. MJF uses the brass knucks on Moxley. 1, 2, 3. Your new winner, your new champion, MJF. But if we rewind the tapes, 2 to 3 weeks ago, somebody called that perfectly. Called the 100%. Like, I was in the room making the decision.
I told this to Jamie. The only way he could have been more correct is if he would have given me like timestamps on it. At 11:32 p.m. Eastern Standard Time is when, that's the only way. That's why Jamie doesn't just have a Markstradamus stamp. He doesn't just have two. He has all the fucking stamps. Pop, just go. Jamie is now just a giant stamp.
Oh. Let's go.
Yeah, I mean, you were
I'm right.
So spot on. It's scary.
I'm right 60% of the time, every time.
It was The match, though, it was a banger. Certified 100% banger.
Oh, I'm just so glad I didn't get a heat seeker for a win.
Yep.
That's all that mattered.
Many heat seekers in the match, though.
Yes.
Because
they're not finishers. They're not finishers.
Which is fine. With you, right? If he does them, okay, cool.
Use that match. It's cool. It's not a finisher.
It's whatever. But
it's not even a signature move. It's a whatever move.
It's a whatever move. Well, we will we'll get more from MJF coming up here soon, but the match was great. So you've got new TNT champion Samoa Joe. A little bit of a surprise there. I'm sure there's some sort of angle they're planning with that there. New women's interim champion, Penn, still there, and new AEW champion. And that leads us into Dynamite from last night. Jamie, why don't you take us through Dynamite?
Well, we'll start at the very beginning because it just makes a lot of sense because it flows right into what we're talking about. Mm-hmm. So William Regal starts out in the middle of the ring. People are giving him the business there in Chicago. Chicago fans know how to give people the business. They were giving him the business. Mm-hmm. And he's like, I know you all want to hear from, the salt of the earth, but it'll be next week. He's filming a movie. He's super important. But he goes, MJF will explain everything next week. And then here comes Moxley. Pissed.
Oh, yeah.
Pissed.
Eyes would kill.
And then out of nowhere, cue Bryan Danielson to stop Moxley.
Yeah, because that's the biggest question, I think, after this. Like, we expected MJF to get the belt. Both of us.
Yeah.
Pretty much everybody. Let's be real, right? Everybody saw MJF getting the belt. How it was done, some disagreements there. Some, varying takes on it. Heel face. Let's see what happens. But I think what people are unsure of is it's not surprising the way it turned out necessarily. That's why I don't consider it like a big shock, right? But I could see it happen. But the thing is, what does the Blackpool Combat Club do now, right?
They aren't a thing anymore.
Are they?
Are they all heels now? Is Claudio gonna go heel?
Are they going to split? Are they just going to kick? There's just Regal out of it, but then Regal's out of it. It kind of defeats the namesake, right?
Yeah, it wouldn't be the Blackpool Combat Club if the guy from Blackpool's not there.
With 3 Americans and a Swissman. I mean, United Nations of Fists. I don't know. That's bad. But yeah, that's the question, though. What about BCC?
Yeah, I don't know. They could still call themselves the BCC with the Blood Combat Club or something. I don't know.
Blood Sport or who knows?
Frank Dukes.
We'll see if they dropped some serious hints about there being of further tension. So you said Danielson came out. Try to calm him down.
He did. He was like, this guy's like a father to me. When my father was going through some of his demons, he helped me be able to communicate with him and everything like that. And I owe my life to him because of this and this. And it's like, you can't hurt him because he's like basically going to die if you touch him.
I found that part funny.
And then Moxley just grabs the mic and it's like, run. As fast as you can. Get out of here. Get away.
Yep.
And Moxley was clearly emotional when Regal was walking away. I feel like there's going to be a lot more to the story, and I feel like I'm here for it.
Oh, I absolutely do. And in the middle of that, you had Danielson slap Moxley out of nowhere, really, right? Well, it's one of those calm down slaps, right? Though,
Yeah.
So there's layers to this for sure.
Seriously thought,
see.
seriously, like Danielson was gonna hold Moxley back and then turn around and slap the shit out of Regal. I thought that was coming.
I thought that he was going to do the opposite. I thought he was going to sit there and like really attack. Well, I like your side of it too, but I thought he was really going to like, when Regal was walking out, I thought, Danson's going to jump Moxley too.
And I could see that happening. Like they left it very wide open for a lot of things to happen.
Super vague.
And I appreciate it. I appreciate the shit out of it. This segment was, I hate to say it, like probably the best part of the night.
I disagree with that.
Are you going to talk about the All Atlantic Championship?
I'm going to talk about what happened after the All Atlantic Championship, even though Jake Hager's love for the discarded Daniel Garcia purple hat, I never knew I needed this in my life. I love this so much.
I hate it and love it so much.
All he ever says is, I like this hat. And it makes it even better. He wrestled the whole match, for the most part, with the fucking bucket hat on. Loved it. But
why not?
It's a fine match.
Love is love, man. Love is love.
Fine match. Both of them put on a good match. Very entertaining. Way to start it up. But after the match is over, here comes QT Marshall. And nobody gives a fuck about QT Marshall in the factory, right? So they're just digging into him. Chicago crowds are great. I mean, they were chanting "fuck you, Regal," to which Regal just responds with "so uncouth," right? There were a lot of fucks on TBS last night. Let's be real.
This was a warm up for another one because another one cranks it to 11.
QT Marshall comes out, and when he gets to the ring, his mic's cutting out. I thought legit at first thought it was like, well, that's embarrassing. Some technical problems, right? And then something was odd about it. And then lights flicker and blackout. And JJ got really excited at this point because red lights appeared on the stage with a female figure, all adorned in black. Julia Hart. Yes! And then you hear the metal chime up, lights come on, House of Black in the ring, decimates best friends, Orange Cassidy, decimates the factory, doesn't give a fuck. They send out local talent and security guards, beat the shit out of them on the way up the ramp. Brody King murders some rookie right on the top of the ramp. And all Malachi says is House of Black members stand up.
Rise.
Oh, rise.
All rise.
And that was it. And it was perfect. House of Black, fully back. All of them. Buddy's there. Malachi's there. For all the talk and rumors and this and that, and because he took his time off, and he's going to go, and Buddy wants to be where Rhea is, and, nope, we got the House of Black still. And I'm all for it. And they look to be just on a warpath, which I'm good with that too.
And based off of this, Mark Stradamus is calling Malachi Black your next All Atlantic champion.
That's some low-hanging fruit. I'd rather see them play a longer game and go after the elite when elite are full faces.
Oh, for sure. But you have time. You have time.
No shit, because we're doing the best of goddamn 7, which,
tomato.
I loved the whole thing, but that was a continuance of the pay-per-view too. Without MJF, it was fine. This got me going though.
You're not wrong.
We'll talk about so let's go through the other matches then, because I mean, like I said, it was a good episode.
Yeah, the Ricky Starks Ethan Page match was actually a really good. Ricky Starks found a way to get the win there, even though he's all battered and banged up. I totally thought they were setting up for Ethan Page and MJF to go at it to do that, but since they're keeping the storyline with MJF with Moxley, it makes a lot of sense.
It does.
Wardlow package, whatever he claims he's still TNT champion because he never got pinned. Jade Cargill's Bow Wow BS, whatever.
Don't care about that. Kiera Hogan's out of the baddies now for some reason.
Yeah, she got kicked out.
Yeah, she done got fired on her day off. I mean, how you gonna get fired on your day off? First of all, but she did. And Red Velvet's back. Cool.
Yeah, she's healthy. Yeah, Death Triangle won, as you know. We talked about that.
We didn't make mention of the Acclaimed did defeat Keith Lee and Swerve at Full Gear with Swerve and Keith Lee having a disagreement, which led to a slap on Keith Lee, which everybody thought Keith Lee's going to murder this poor young man. And he didn't. He just left him, and it was a 2-on-1 for the rest of the match, and the Acclaimed won.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So
we missed that from Full Gear.
Yeah, because then there's another little package where they're going to talk to Keith Lee, then Swerve came up to him, and
they're drawing this out more, so okay.
Whatever. Renee Paquette announced that AEW has asked Thunder Rosa to forfeit the AEW Women's Champion, and the interim has been dropped from Jamie Hayter's interim World Championship. And then Britt answers for Jamie Hayter and how she feels. Britt hypes up Hayter, and then she never considered the word interim.
Mm-hmm. Which, if I could be particular about one thing here, the way that Renee actually phrased it is that there's ongoing talks between management and Thunder Rosa, that management then came to the point where they asked Thunder Rosa to relinquish the title, in which she did. They're definitely trying to sound as good as possible for Thunder Rosa, considering...
Yeah, because the uncertainty of how long she'll be out.
Right. So the way they framed it was very much a way, and she had an odd tweet. I don't know if you saw her tweet post show, but she said, she was thanks to this, thanks to the execs and all this stuff here, but you guys deserve to have a sitting champ or a reigning champion, whatever. And she goes, this is like on to the next ride or something of that nature. It was kind of a weird thing. There's been rumors about her not being happy in AEW for a little bit now, so I hope that's not the case. I hope I'm just reading too much into it, but I don't know.
Either, man. Why would she be unhappy? She was champion. She was on TV all the time. What's not to be happy?
I don't know. I mean, she complained
because they asked her to drop her belt because the crowd thinks she got stale.
Well, she complained about that. She also had documented. She complained about the amount of time that that the women have been getting, which is she's not wrong.
I agree with that.
She's not wrong, but I don't know. I just for some reason that stuck with me the most. The verbiage about how they were framing that. It's like they're doing as good a job as they can to. Because the injury was one that was a lot of people were kind of like unknown. Like, wait, you're injured? What are you talking about? One of the sort of things. So,
yeah,
there's some weirdness with that.
So after that, you actually had a 3-team tag match, which I'm like, you might as well make it a 4-cornered. You could have scrounged together another team. But whatever.
Sure.
So you had Jamie Hayter and Britt Baker going up against Willow Nightingale and local hometown favorite Sky Blue going up against Anna J.A.S. and Ty Mello.
Sky Blue was the star of this match.
Her code reds are a thing of beauty.
I mean, how she gets into the code red is ridiculous. And
how she jumps on their back and does a quick flip.
Right,
it's kick-ass.
She looked fantastic. Jamie looked great. Honestly, Ty really looked good in this match too.
He did.
So
the weakest link of this whole thing was Anna J.
Anna J. I know, which she has so much potential. It just pains me because she was.
It doesn't seem like she's putting in the work.
It doesn't feel like it. I mean, but yeah.
Because then you have Willow, who's a superstar.
Well, let me ask you this. You asked me earlier. I know we're going on Tangent Island, whatever. you asked me earlier about missing Cody Rhodes, if I missed him. Anna Jay is a factory product. Do you think that her and other factory talent that are still really green?
No, because I mean QT Marshall, he's still there, and like, have you seen Anthony Ogogo? He's gotten better.
Yes.
I mean, there's other guys who are at the factory that we know very well that are doing quite well.
Okay,
you
well,
know?
I'm trying to find an answer because it doesn't make sense. She was doing so well. Brody Lee dies, right? He wanted to bring her into the Dark Order, this and that, but then the other Dark Order people, I think that her in that situation fit well. Plus, she was doing the work. She was getting better, and then ever since the end of the Dark Order, which I know they're not officially over, but it's not the same Dark Order anymore.
No, it's not. It's not even close.
It's weird. I don't know, but you could have given us 2 matches, Tony. You still could have given us, but at least he's making up for it by just putting more women on a match. So
hey, we got 6 different women.
Okay.
No Tony Storm, but you got the champ, which is fine.
Mm-hmm.
So that was good. Jamie Hayter and Britt Baker won, obviously.
Of course.
After that, you had the Acclaimed coming out, and Daddy Ass's hands are completely healthy. So he was able to do the scissor, but he got stopped doing the scissor by Sanjay Dutt and the last outlaw, Jeff Jarrett. So set up a match between those guys, whatever.
Oh, please. Please stop, Jeff.
We did get a scissor. Then I feel like I skipped something.
You're missing the finale. You're missing the main event, dude. After that was just the main event.
There was something else.
There were some little promos here and there. You had Elite Death Triangle we talked about. You had Ethan Page.
The Elite. Yeah. So, shit.
We didn't really talk about the match.
The Chicago. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
So the Elite Death Triangle match was excellent. But the thing was, they're in Chicago. And they came back to a hero's welcome at the pay-per-view at Full Gear.
100%.
Well, turn around Wednesday.
You're in CM Punk country, son.
Yeah. There's Flair country. This is CM Punk country. They were booed incessantly. People were cussing them out. Like, it was insane how much heat that crowd gave them.
Fuck the Elite, a lot of fuck the Elite chants.
To which, how did Kenny Omega respond, you ask?
How did he do that?
He bit Pac's arm.
Not only did he bite his arm, he then followed that up shortly thereafter by doing a go to sleep on Pac. I mean, just hit that nail on the head there. Boom.
Well, and the thing is too, like, if there wasn't some, like, if the boys in the back weren't cool with what happened right there, that would have never went down. Like, Pac was like, hell yeah, that's a great idea. And then, hit the GTS on me in Chicago because fuck that guy. By all accounts, everybody in AEW hated CM Punk other than CM Punk and Tony Khan.
Yeah. And there might have been like a little bit of people that have known him from before, right?
Yeah.
Not a ton. I mean, he got Ace Steel a job there pretty much.
Subsequently doesn't have a job there.
Ironically enough, right? So now we also talked about it, but we didn't really talk about it. So of the Death Triangle, so there was hammers all around, right? The Elite had their own hammer they got thrown in there, which Matt was very enthralled with. Let me say that.
That's fair.
He was basically making out with the son of a bitch, and Penta showed up behind him, very, like murder movie-esque wise, right? And he had a hammer as well, and he used the hammer on him, and they got the victory. So 2 of the 3 members are cool with the hammer, and Phoenix is still reluctant. But all right, that leaves it to the main event. That's all we have left.
Main event.
And I'm
Ring of Honor
go with
Championship.
this because, yes, this match was so far up your alley, it's not even funny.
Yeah, Ring of Honor Championship, Chris Jericho versus Tomohiro Ishii. 2 things about this match. That's all I want to talk about. 2 things. 1, chop so hard they made Chris Jericho's chest bleed.
Cut open the motherfucker's chest. I was like, where'd he get blood
Bleeding.
from? Oh, no, that's coming from his... Wow. Have you ever seen that, Jamie?
No.
I've never seen somebody's chest get cut open from chops. What the fuck?
Yeah. And then I got a win via a lion tamer for Thanksgiving.
A good lion tamer, too.
A great looking one on Tomohiro Ishii, who is not exactly the most limber of gentlemen.
I think that at the pay-per-view, when they're talking about the card, Jim Ross described him as fighting an appliance.
Yeah, like he's just stocky.
Get all neck.
It is a beautiful lion tamer. One for the ages, one might say. It might end up getting on the collection of lion tamer photos. So yeah, that's a thing.
If you want to see more lion tamer photos, follow us on Hive Social.
Yes. I'll be posting a lion tamer appreciation. What was it? What it's not a tweet. What do you call them? Post?
Buzz?
A buzz?
Hive? I would say a buzz would be...
A pollination? I don't know. A drone?
Honeycomb? These are the jokes, guys. If we're spinning our wheels here, we're going to run away now. So
yeah, I got to think of something that... Okay, well, anyway, on Hive, a lion tamer appreciation.
I'm pretty sure they're called posts. I'm pretty sure it's just called posts. Just call it a post.
Well, it's like tweets for Twitter. Tweet.
We're going to call it a post and we're going to run away.
Claudio came out and attacked the champion, Chris Jericho, afterwards, setting up Chris Jericho versus Claudio 17. Hey, 50-50 bookings, starting to rear its ugly head. Which, again, I don't mind the best of 7 on the Elite and everything because I can see that every day. But and honestly, I could see Claudio and Jericho go at it. It's time for Claudio to win that belt, I think. So, I don't know. Great show. Fuck CM Punk. That's all I gotta say.
It was very interesting going from Jersey on Full Gear to Chicago on, because they do Chicago. They do this every year. The Dynamite, the pre-Thanksgiving Dynamite is going to be in Chicago every year. That's what Tony has said, right? So you went from literally that week. You went from Jersey to Chicago and seeing the stark contrast of rabid fan bases. The juxtaposition was fantastic. I think, though, this does 100% signal, though, although some people were trying to make something of it, I think that for sure, no more CM Punk in AEW, for sure. If you had any doubts, you shouldn't anymore. Yeah. I'm happy with some of the stuff they're doing with the women's division. I'm glad that Jamie got the belt. I'm glad that they have an official decision. They also retroactively made Toni Storm her reign non-interim reign, which is the right move there. Don't know where that. Honestly, I'm a little bit up in the air about Thunder Rosa. I still don't know what her injury is.
Yeah, they're being tight-lipped, but some people said it's a back thing. But then, I see her on Busted Open. She's moving around and everything looks fine.
Some people don't think she's injured at all.
I think it's a pride thing. I think she didn't want to drop a belt. I 100% believe it's pride.
So, I don't know where we're going with that. The whole Jade Cargill thing, we need a solution for that long term. But, let's look at, because we made mention of Cody Rhodes to start the show. And kind of to finish my answer in the best way I think we can here. We've talked about how AEW should proceed moving long term. And let's look at what they're doing with that. Now, yes, they took the belt off of Wardlow, but he's still very much in that picture. Jade Cargill has been the only TBS champion, and she is your poster child, right? Jamie Hayter now holds the belt and will be in a feud with Britt Baker before the next pay-per-view or shortly thereafter. Let's be honest.
And I hope so.
You've got the Acclaimed, who literally were given a promo just to come out and scissor with Billy Gunn on TV.
Works for me.
I mean, do we miss Cody Rhodes? No, because this is what you get if you don't have that old guard there. So, final thoughts.
That was one of the best pay-per-views. It was a sleeper. I was not expecting to be as good as it actually was.
Yeah. I'm
so
with you.
Good.
I'm with you there. All right.
And the show wasn't bad. Again, Dynamite was a solid Thanksgiving show. Hopefully everybody has a good turkey day. Your fantasy football teams do well. Your turkey is good if you don't eat turkey. What the hell's wrong with you? Other than maybe you're vegetarian. Then if you're vegetarian, start eating meat. No,
no. I've noticed this weird trend of people that just don't like Thanksgiving food. So they're doing like other types of, food for a big family Thanksgiving meal. And I'm just like, okay, I understand some people don't like turkey. They swap it out for ham. Okay. Ham's a Christmas thing, but whatever.
Yeah, I agree. Christmas ham. It's called Christmas ham.
We like doing like barbecue on Christmas, but still potato.
We did tacos one year.
But that's what I'm getting at. Like there's this one person I talked to. It's like their family's from Savannah, Georgia, whatever. They're gonna go do it's our traditional Thanksgiving low country seafood boil. Gonna have like crawdads and shit. And I'm like,
oh, okay, that's fun.
It's like, okay, so regional stuff, but no sides, no traditional sides in the least, right?
Like mashed potatoes and gravy.
Yeah, it's like I don't like any of those, so we're not going to have any of those. And I'm like
I don't like stuffing.
I love stuffing. I gotta have stuffing. I got stuffing and my grandma's old scalloped egg dish, which I'm making because I'm going to my buddy's house. I have to have those two things for Thanksgiving.
Scalloped eggs.
Scalloped eggs, yeah. It's like an egg casserole, basically, with like a cream sauce, right?
Oh, that sounds delicious.
Hard-boiled eggs with the cream, little crackers, boom, scalloped eggs, fantastic. So
I've never had that.
It's weird. I thought it was a regional thing.
I like green beans, but I don't like green. Okay, so I will say this: there are some Thanksgiving sides I'm not a big fan of. I feel like cranberry sauce is overhyped.
I was gonna get there. Cranberries are. Yeah.
I like cranberry juice. Like I'll drink the hell out of some cranberry juice, especially if you put a little vodka in there. But cranberry sauce is okay. I'm not a green bean casserole guy. I'll eat green beans, but not in the casserole. I get it.
I hear you.
I get it, but the main event is the turkey and the mashed potatoes, just covered in gravy, just gravy everywhere.
Gravy like a motherfucker. You do brown gravy or white gravy?
Turkey gravy. So
you do brown gravy,
brownish or whatever.
Yeah. Well, it's like true turkey gravy is more of a more watery brown gravy, and then you have a thicker one. So if you're leaning more towards this is gravy to use for the mashed potatoes, that's where you kind of get a little cream in there and becomes a little bit more. It's a thicker gravy. I like the thicker gravy myself personally. It's more. It's not like white like a sausage breakfast gravy, right? But it's more of like a light brown, right? That's the one I like. See, I'm not big on mashed potatoes, in general. So I'm like, whatever. I don't mind some yams, but I don't really like a lot of the candied yams with all the marshmallows on top. Usually I pick the marshmallows off and just have the yams by themselves. But turkey, and I'm a dark meat guy like you. Stuffing, scalloped eggs, plus bread. You know, we also do a Scandinavian bread every year called lefse. It's fantastic. And then, truth be told, pie. So much pie. I have to take like 4 Tums because I have so I feel like I'm gonna throw up.
What's your pie of choice?
I have to have 3 different pies every year.
Oh,
even if slice of one slice, even if it's a minimum of 1 slice of each. Pumpkin for sure, apple, and then chocolate pudding.
Chocolate pie. Yeah, I'm a big fan of the pumpkin. Obviously, so for the longest time, I would not touch pumpkin because I got the flu when I was a kid, and I ate pumpkin pie, and I associated
with the pie.
pumpkin, yeah, because things happened after that. But so pumpkin pie is number 1, chocolate's number 2, and I like pecan pie. I didn't when I was a kid, but I like it as an adult a lot.
I hear you. I can respect that. I just personally, I'm not a big fan. I don't like the gooiness of the filling. So
That's fair.
Well, if you guys have any specialties that you have to have or can't stand, either way, let us know. Give us a tweet. Give us a buzz. We'll figure this out.
Send a drone over to us.
Send a drone. Leave a comment down below. Let us know. And yes, we do want to wish you guys very happy, very safe Thanksgiving weekend. Enjoy time with the people you love, or time away from people you don't love. If you're not doing a big thing, either way, let's just be real. Be safe out there. Don't drink and drive. Don't be going to Walmart for doorbuster bullshit and trample somebody for a $35 TV. Don't be that person.
And don't talk politics, but I do want you to do this. Talk about how the Elite are more important than CM Punk and see what happens.
just drop that bomb. Let's see if we can. We'll start minor.
Vice versa.
Minor. We're gonna do minor fights, not the big one. We're not doing politics, guys, but minor fights. We will be back next week. It's the last show in our series of Thanksgivings. But we will be back next week, see what's going on around the horn, as well as MJF's response. He's supposed to be on Dynamite next week, so we'll find out more about that. Hopefully we'll get more of an update on some Thunder Rosa things, see what's happening there. But follow us on either socials, Twitter. You can also follow us on Hive, or follow us right here. There's a button down below where you can do that. Just click the follow.
Like, subscribe, comment. Especially the like and subscribe, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes.
We have a lot of people who like to watch this. Just give us a sub.
Just a like. But yeah, we will be back next week. Same bat time, same bat channel. This is your champ speaking. Turning it over to Jamie. Jamie, please take us home, man.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. I got 2 words for you. Happy Thanksgiving.
We'll see you guys next week.
Peace.